Welcome everyone. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the function of Vlookup in Microsoft Excel. Before beginning with that, let us first understand what is the benefit of Vlookup function and why is it so helpful. So basically, Vlookup is one function which will help you to find whether the set of data exists in a particular large amount of other set of data. So let us take for example, here we have a hospital database which has patient names, their IDs and the amount which they had paid. Now I need to check whether these patients have paid any amount or not. So if I want to check that, then over here you would find it very easy because the number of data is quite less. But imagine that when you have around hundreds or thousands of such data, then it becomes a task to find even such a small amount of data. So over here, the concept of Vlookup will be very helpful. So now let us see how. In order to use our Vlookup function, we would select all the data and give a name to the data. So here I am using define name. So the name I am going to write down is paid. And in order to check whether the patient Rachel, Mike, Emma and so on, all of them have paid or not, I'm just simply going to insert the function over here in this cell, and the function which I'm going to insert is Vlookup. So now when you do that, you will see that there is another function which is HLookup. So the difference between the two functions is that Vlookup searches the data vertically and HLookup searches the data horizontally. So depending upon your requirement, you can select either of them. So now since I want to check my data vertically, I am going to select Vlookup. Here, this is very important. What all values should be inserted so that you get the exact output. So the first one, which is lookup value, states that is the value to be found in the first column of the table and can be a value, a reference or a text string. Meaning I need to put over here that value which I need to check amongst the data. So here the value is this cell, that is the value is Rachel. So I'm just going to click on that cell, that is cell E3. Then I'm going to write down the table array. So over here you can simply select all of these, or I can just write down the name of my range which I had selected previously. So here I'm just going to write down paid. Then the next entry needed is column index number. So here you need to input the value of the column which needs to be seen over here. So if I needed the name of the patient, I will write down column 1. Or if I wanted to find out the ID of the patient, I would write down column 2. Or if I want to check the amount which the patient has paid, then I will write down column 3. So here I am just going to write down column 1 as of now. Then range lookup. Now over here, please pay attention. Since it is written as it is equal to a logical answer, meaning it can be either true or false. So over here, if I put this value as true, then the closest match can also be returned. But if I put it as false, then I need this match to be exact over here. Mostly everybody puts it as false because we do not want any discrepancies. But depending upon your task, you can select this option. So let us see the result. So over here, when I inputted name Rachel, we got the answer as Rachel because Rachel was there in my selection. Now in order to use this formula for the rest of the other data, I'm just simply going to copy and paste. As we can see, for Mike we got NA, meaning Mike is not available in my selection. That same goes for Jesse, James and Alan. So I hope you have understood this, and if you wanted the amount to be returned, then simply change the value of the column index from 1 to 3. That would give you the amount which Rachel has paid, that is 3,625. The same thing can be done for the rest of the data. And for the final finishing, if you don't want this cell to be seen as like this, then over here you can simply cut the formula and put it in another formula which is named as if error. This formula helps you to type in whatever you needed if that error has been occurred. So over here I'm just going to paste the formula and I'm going to write down the details which needs to be seen if this error occurs. So I'm going to write down unpaid. So now you can see that instead of this particular value, everywhere I'll get to see unpaid. So I'm just going to copy this again. So this way you can use Vlookup. In this video, I'm showing you how to use Vlookup in Microsoft Excel. In my next video, I'm going to show you how to use Vlookup online, and that too without Excel. Thank you.